Governor's Ball, which happens right after the Academy Awards. And this is where the people go. The stars, the celebrities, the presenters, yes, you name it. And this year, what has changed is everything is a movie. No more sit-down dinner. The food comes to you. And for this year's theme, Mediterranean style, you're going to get to see what it's actually going to look like. The signature drink with Moet, the costumes, the decor, the food, and we'll even have an e-bike so you can have your own Oscar party. We're going to bring that all to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Academy Awards Governor's Ball Chair for the third consecutive year, Mr. Jeffrey Kurland.
Thank you for the warm applause. All four of you. That was very nice. I want to welcome you here today, and thank you all for coming. This is a wonderful, large turnout for what we think is going to be an incredibly innovative and exciting new Governor's Ball, which Cheryl will talk to you about, of course, later on. I want to make some quick and very deserved thank yous first, before we begin the proceedings, from the Academy, Kimberly Rausch and Tenny Maladonian, who work tirelessly on this event, and I want to thank them so very much for everything that they do. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. And our sponsors, once again, Moet Chandon, sorry about that. Julia Fitzroy and Paige Peterson, who I've worked with for the past 3 years. Wonderful representatives of Moet. But also I'd like to announce, and I'm going to read this because this is something new. Moet is pleased to announce their new award season home entertaining expert, and she is an LA native, Aida Mullenkamp, who is an acclaimed chef and culinary curator and host of the cooking channel show Food Crafters. And this is something new that Moet is adding to the agenda. Aida will unveil Moet's signature Oscar cocktail today, which I personally have tasted, and believe me, I think you'll enjoy it. A special thanks to Swarovski, because how can you have a ball without crystals? And they certainly do it better than anybody else. Once again, to Wolfgang Puck and his team, Chef Puck and Carl Schuster, Matt Benevenita, Chef Sherry Yard, Barbara Bass, Pam Brunson, and Dennis Richardson. Once again, the artistry that goes into the food created here. Chef has created an incredible menu for the ball, innovative and new and plentiful and elegant. I hope you'll all enjoy it. There's so much here to try. People who help me out with the wait staff who make these things for me: JFF Uniform, Western Costume, Anto Shirt Makers, and International Silks and Woolen, who helps with the fabric. And once again, for the third year, the Oscar winners will be able to have their Oscars engraved at the ball with their name on it. They don't have to wait for them. They can go home with the Oscar and their name on it. And that's headed up by Sarah Musgrove. Let's see, I think that's really much about it. I think I'd like to introduce my friend and the genius behind so much of this, Cheryl Chiquero of Sequoia Productions. I hope she doesn't trip coming up.
Me too. Thank you. First of all, I just want to start by really thanking Jeffrey Kurland. We all know who he is. He's got an amazing track record of incredible accomplishments in his life. This is his third consecutive year, and I have to tell you, you've got to look at the pictures for the last 2 years. It's been brilliant. You're such a pleasure to work with. You're an incredible talent. We're always just trying to, really meet your standards. And of course, Jeffrey, I just want to be clear, we only have 7 more years to work together, an even 10, okay? And thank you, Kimberly, wherever you are out there. It's been an absolute pleasure. And a huge thank you to Tenny Maladonian and her team for you all coming this year. This is an event, right? We started this several years ago, and it's truly an event. So, thank you to the Academy, and thank you, press, for being here. This is Sequoia's 23rd year, not some serious wood. But You know, I have to tell you, there's just absolutely no way that we could be here today. Very briefly, we have an amazing Sequoia team, and it's been spearheaded by Lauren Johnson-Oshamala over here, who is absolutely a rock in this project, and to her right, Andrea Brooks, who's another huge rock in this project. And I think, Lauren, it's your 6th year? Six, and Andrea somewhere around there too? Exactly. So thank you. Andrea's the director of event production, and Gary Levitt, of course, the vice president, has also been a rock. Mary Jane Partlow will be available here. She's been our correspondent with Moet. We're so happy to have Moet back on board today. And you know, there's so many more of the Sequoia team. They're right here. They're phenomenal, and they're available to talk to. If you want to interview anyone today, they know this job inside and out. So what's today all about? First of all, I've been asked what's different. Well, let me tell you what's different. Everything. The entire format. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science, Jeffrey, everyone has gotten behind the fact that this is no longer a sit-down dinner. This is no longer reserved seating. Everything moves throughout the entire evening. What you have several vignettes that we've set up that are obviously spread throughout the room of lounge seating, of traditional seating, of this right behind this beautiful railing here is bar, like stand-up bar seating, and the whole evening is flow. Everyone can go where they want to go, which makes it an evening that is nothing but energized. You know what you have to do? This is really interesting. You come in here and think, oh, okay, that's the ceiling, that's fine. We built the entire, this is a portion of the bowl right here. And if you look through that black drape over there and Andy Stain over there, I'd love you to take a picture of before and after. And by the way, we put this in what, 3-4 days. So that's a really, look, that's incredible, right? That's all I gotta say about that one. All right, so action stations today. You must go visit Mark Held from Mark's Gardens, because that man is brilliant and his florals are to die for. You have to stop and say hi to Larry Oberman, and ELS did the lighting, and Larry's gonna just, as I'm talking here, change a few hues. You can see how the entire room is gonna go through fabulous color changing. You should stop, and I don't know if Marco Fonseca is here from Lux Lounge Event. He is here. Where are you, Marco? Because the guy is somewhere out there. There he is, from Lux Furniture, Event Furniture Rentals. I have to tell you, he has built every piece of furniture. It's customized. How many pieces of furniture do we have, Marco? 550 pieces of customized upholstered furniture. One is more beautiful than the next, so you've got to go visit him. Also, Mark Friedland, another great new addition to the very end here. He's a designer. Mark Friedland with Mark Friedland Couture Communication. He's a designer of the Academy Awards Winners Envelope. And he's designed the first ever collection of the Academy's invitations for Oscar viewing parties, now available to be downloaded exclusively on eVite Postmark. So that's a great, if you're throwing your own Oscar party at home, it's a great thing to have. You know, we all like to do that. Okay, very, very quickly, before I introduce the incredible Wolfgang Puck, I think I already talked about all the action stations. Please go visit our model. That's how we start. Please come and see this layout that I think, Sherry, we've done 662 revisions on it because it's brilliant. It's been thought out so, from every angle. Please stop and look at the inspiration board. The initial inspiration was from American Cafe in Amsterdam, and actually from massive Mediterranean arches that we're building, creating intimacy, and giving it a very, very couture, contemporary look. So I thought, where in the world do you never want to get up? And that's the Mediterranean. And so that was the original inspiration. It's layered. We call it elegance in the air. It's got a beautiful linear look, clean, sleek. So throughout the evening, we're going to have the sounds of Gradefield and phenomenal musicians. You all know who Dave Cause is. We all know who Arturo Sandoval is. Fabulous musicians, and a circular stage will be rotating. So here we are. You've got the guests coming in. It's normally a sit-down dinner. The Wolfgang Puck team is bringing everything to the guests. There aren't buffets. There are some like beautiful seafood and chocolate. Sherry Yard, of course, our amazing Wolfgang Puck pastry chef will have beautiful dessert buffets on the north and south balcony. But everything is going to be brought to the guests. It's layered. It's tray passed. It's what we call placer plates on the cocktail tables, the stand-up tables. It's small plates, which you're going to taste very shortly. And it's desserts that's tray passed. So it's layered and layered and layered. Guests can mingle, they can move, and Everything will be brought to them in small bites. I don't know about you, but I don't really want to sit down and eat one thing for a half an hour. I want to taste 20 things, and that's what we're going to do with the magnificent